Good afternoon, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do the usual disclaimers, this is one of two videos I'm doing today, not because I'm trying to stack them on top of each other like I was working for Wayfair, but because tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and I can guarantee you, more than likely, after everything is ate, we honored the time and time again tradition of watching Hans Gruber fall off of a building. I'm not really going to be wanting to try to get a video in there. So, without further ado, the disclaimers, folks. If you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, pay attention to the article in there written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 800 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic refused. You know the drill. Please read the article. Share on all your social media. Also included is NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC ever actually does see through with their threat. Trigger warning 1. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please make sure to go ahead and utilize your headphones. Trigger warning 2. This channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously, parental supervision is very much advised. Alright, folks, so we're going to get into it here real quick, but since it's a Thanksgiving tradition, you know how usually you have to circle around, say what you're grateful for, right? I am grateful for the amicable split with Wayfair, but also because I was with them for 3 years, the fact that they gave me a very generous 401k that is allowing for me to not only go for that certification program for billing and coding, but to be actually able to pay for the whole thing up front, no student loans, no nothing. That's It's insane how lucky I feel right now. So that's what I'm thankful for, as well as also being able to dodge and not have to torture myself with back to back 15-hour shifts all week long because of Black Friday. On Friday, I'm going to get up late. I'm going to stay in my nice little apartment here. And I'm not going outside for no one. You could tell me the nukes are finally being shot off. I'm still not going out. Alright, let's go to where we left off last evening. ASAN has heard reports from many people with intellectual and developmental disabilities who have had an ESD used on them, and their stories remain chilling. That's an understatement. The survivors report that devices cause severe pain akin to torture, which you can actually visually very much see when you watch that Andre McCollins video. You can't sit there, look me in the eye, and tells me that it's nothing but a bee sting when we have video surveillance footage of that poor kid screaming in absolute agony. I gotta call bullshit. I gotta call major bullshit. Bee sting my ass. Just saying. After repeated exposure to shocks, the survivors became anxious, depressed, and fearful. Many have developed symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. The United Nations Special Rapporteur on Torture specifically condemned the current use of electric skin shocks at the JRC as violating the Convention Against Torture. Now, I want you to think about that because it wasn't just one special rapporteur on torture from the UN, it's two of them. Two of them. So, before you get into the Republican Democrat nonsense, because that's all it is, it's nonsense. It's nothing but a show, and it's the most horrible show to watch on planet Earth. Sorry, I said what I said. You had both an extreme classic conservative, being Bush, W, say, no, we won't do a federal investigation, only to be found that the Obama administration didn't even give us that. They just pretended like they were not contacted by the Special Rapporteur on Torture from the UN to do a full-scale federal investigation of this place. So, this is not another case of Republicans versus Democrats. This is the case of what it is in the actual real world, which is these people only care to please folks long enough to get votes. After they get those votes, they are not going to do anything for you unless you've got some leverage against said person. That is the real world of politics. All right? You have two UN special rapporteurs on torture. You had each special rapporteur speak to both Democrat and Republican politicians. Neither side gave a single damn about those kids. I just really wanted to comment on that so that you can kind of wrap your brain around this, right? We got to know who these politicians really are, not who they say they are, or, their three-ring circus that surrounds them all. All right, we're going to go ahead and continue here. These adverse effects alone would constitute an unreasonable substantial risk of injury even when the device is used as intended. Now, I'm sorry, yes, medically speaking, remember, I've been around hospitals due to my mom and my dad from before I could even walk. All right? I can tell you with my full chest and utmost confidence that when you shock someone literally just barely below the lethal limit, there is going to be unreasonable and substantial risk of injury. Anyone who tells you any different, I don't even know, but they need to be dragged out of the healthcare and mental health care scene, and I don't know, given a janitorial job at McDonald's. I don't even know what to tell you in regards to that, but let's continue here. Not to say anything against McDonald's, I've worked there, as well as Taco Bell. Taco Bell was infinitely more fun. Anyways, I'm getting off topic, sorry. However, there is also ample evidence that these devices are frequently used as a form of punishment, contrary to the JRC claims that the devices are used solely on a last resort basis to reduce self-injury and aggressive behavior. You can't tell me that it's only in the most extreme cases and then immediately tell me that you use it afterwards for a kid standing up for more than 3 seconds from their desk. Okay? You can't tell me that. But that could be possibly a behavior leading into something aggressive. Bitch, when I get out of the bed in the morning and I put my feet on the ground, that could possibly lead to a whole myriad of different behaviors. Okay? That doesn't mean that I'm likely to engage in them. Their argument is utterly absurd and ridiculous. And the fact that people buy this, they have to be paid. You would have to be paid to even pretend that you agree with that assessment. I'm just saying. Either that or we got a whole bunch of people that need to seriously put down the crack pipes. Last resort, my ass. And folks, if you don't believe us, in the description box, you're going to see the links to what are considered shockable offenses in there in the description box. Read through that. And then once you do, come back and tell me if you think that these shockable offenses are things that are worthy of being called last resort. Right? Just saying. In our above example, the individual discussed was shocked for behavioral noncompliance that did not constitute aggression or self-injury. He literally just said no to removing his coat. A lot of us autistics we like the extra weight, especially when we're in school and we are forced to people around others. Okay? It's a comfort thing. The pressure kind of helps keep us calm. You cannot tell me him saying no in regards to removing his coat is somehow aggressive or self-injurious behavior. Okay? Other survivors also describe experiences of being shocked for a wide range of harmless behaviors. Furthermore, the fact that the individuals have received shock for protective or avoidance behaviors, such as tensing up, something that, by the way, can actually be caused for the electricity itself. When you have an electrode that is concentrated specifically on the muscle and you send a bunch of electricity from the device into the electrodes right on the muscle, if you think that the muscle is not going to react and have at least some form of tensing, stop smoking crack. All right? Or attempting to remove the device underscores the fact that there are limited means for individuals subjected to this device to communicate distress or adverse effects. It also underscores the fact that by being for communicating of distress, individuals on this device are being subjected to immense physical and psychological abuse through the use of this device, which is more beyond evident and clear when you watch that Andre McCollins video. I've said it a billion times in regards to one of the most clear-cut cases of downright evil being perpetuated on disabled folks and people with mental health issues. I can't even find a similar case where the evidence is so clear. You know? Here we are in 2024, right? Okay, we're going to go ahead and close out there for this video. And then I got a little bit more cleaning to do. I'll come back and do the second video here in a few minutes. I'm sorry you all have to listen to me narrate my life. Verbal diarrhea is a thing, especially for me. Alright, we don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do tend to get removed from time to time, so folks, you know the drill. Please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Don't forget to utilize the comments. I appreciate your time this afternoon. As always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. And everyone, happy Thanksgiving. I will catch you all on Friday while hiding away from all the people who are going to be using our parking lot because the mall is too full and we're right next to it. Send help. Bye-bye, everyone.